travelled to the ends of the earth, taking on the world's wildest places.
Come on, keep with me, keep with me.
It's been one hell of a journey, both for me and the hugely dedicated team of people who are with me every step of the way. The team and I always ask for our favourite moments from the show, so we've put together a top 25 countdown of the very best. And there've been so many moments for me on Man vs. Wild, and it's always going to be hard to narrow it down to 25, but I'm going to kick it off 9,000 feet up in a helicopter, looking down on a little desert island. Magic.
When Bear falls out the aircraft, and behind him you see this island, little island. It's like James Bond moment.
We travelled to some of the most remote places on Earth. In Sumatra, Indonesia, just getting on the ground was a huge challenge. But letting go was the easy bit. My plan was to land in the water, but to do that, I needed to release the parachute just before entry. Nothing below me to judge distances and tell me when to detach is a high-risk maneuver. Released too early, and it would be just like hitting concrete. Now that's how to make an entrance. Number 24 is a time in Montana when I was faced with one of my toughest ever climbs.
That must be 200 foot high. At least.
Stuck in the bottom of a steep-sided valley, my way out was up. Climbing up that railway bridge in Montana, I would describe as buttock clenching.
It looked big, but once you got part way up it, you really saw how big it was, but also how fragile it was. I mean, that bridge was in excess of 100 years old.
It was a very physical climb, which took a big toll on me.
Try and pump some blood back into the hands and the arms. You just gotta be 100% on each handhold and foothold. You start getting this high. You're just not human if you don't feel a flutter.
And just when I thought I had it all worked out, it's almost at the top, I realized there was a big flaw in my plan.
How on earth am I gonna get over this lip?
I wanted to swing the chain out over the lip and get it hooked on the railing.
Ah! It's caught, it is caught. Okay, it's officially time for a courage pill.
I was definitely scared.
See my hands.
And you can see how my hands were shaking when I got to the top. In Belize, deep underground in a cave, I found food of sorts.
Disgusting.
He saw this amazing-looking prehistoric insect almost hanging from his cave.
Flipping Nora.
And sort of just thought, that's food.
This thing must be the most evil-looking creature you'll ever see.
Look at the size of that. You see, that's a whip scorpion. It's like a cross between a scorpion and a spider. Let's see if I can get him on him.
Bear, classic technique, Bear Grylls technique, whack it with a stone.
Bingo. And look at the size of that.
Well, at least you're going to maybe pull a few legs off or all that. No chance.
I don't even know where you begin to eat it. Probably the back end. That's one bit I got. That is a big meal.
I've included this at number 23 because I think it's the biggest insect I've ever eaten.
In Alaska, what should have been a simple river crossing very nearly ended in big disaster.
Well, they actually use this one as well to get across.
Now you see this huge tree trunk wedged across this canyon. And you look at it and you think, you know, there's not moving anywhere. You know, you could hang a truck off it.
Would you believe it? The thing went.
Even today, I find this one hard to watch.
I got it. God, I hate it when that happens. That was very, very close.
Number 21 has to be Transylvania. It involves me, a length of rope, and a helicopter. Guess the rest.
Heading to the Carpathian Mountains in central Romania. And it's reckoned to be the last great wilderness in Europe. To get in there, it's not going to be easy. The clouds are moving in, and there's only a tiny weather window.
All of a sudden you see that coil just moving.
The pilot says he can't land up there. So it means I got improvise.
Up he goes, like a dope on a rope.
I'll never forget being suspended underneath a helicopter, flying at 100 miles an hour across the Transylvanian wilderness. Brilliant. Number 20 is my Tarzan moment in the jungles of Belize.
Look at that for a drop-off. That's what I call a death drop. And really anything over 30 foot, especially onto rocks like this, you're just not going to walk away from. And this must be at least 60, 70 foot down here.
There was only one way to get across this chasm, and I'd always wanted to try this. Here was my chance.
Yeah, that's all my weight on it. And it's holding. Okay, let's give this a field test.
Well, no one knows what is going to happen.
Jeepers.
It takes a lot of courage. It does take a lot of balls.
Like most things on this show, it's probably best to only do them once. Number 19, in the Sahara Desert, I had to get in, and get in fast.
I love a gentle drive in the countryside.
The Land Rover's doing about 50 kilometres. And that sand's not so soft.
If we slow down in the hot sand, we're more likely going to sink, get stuck. So when the driver gives me the nod, I'm going to have to jump. What a great way to start the mouthful of sand.
Coming up on my greatest moments, I go on a fishing trip with a difference in the deep south. Take the ride of my life in a biplane and get in a fight with a bee. I'm Bear Grylls, and welcome back to my 25 greatest moments. And number 18 is a seriously committing rope traverse in Texas.
That's never easy, is it? There must be a good 60 foot straight down this.
Under the baking hot Texas sun, I had to act fast. Instead of turning back, I placed my trust in a length of rope and an old trap to get me across to the other side.
In a tough environment, sort of working with equipment that's substandard, you don't know if it's really going to hold.
Bullseye! Feels like it's caught.
I've chosen this one because looking back, it really could have ended very, very differently.
It's risky stuff, and it's heart in the mouth.
The rope's holding so far.
But there was always that chance it could slip. And it blooming did, while he was on it.
Actually, it's working quite nicely.
Oh my God.
Bad place for the anchor to slip.
It's that ability to use that level of fear and anxiety and not let it take over you, because that could be disastrous.
Number 17 happened in Vietnam, when I was given a brutal reminder of the awesome power of water.
When you're operating in an extreme environment, things can change really quickly.
Stop. The water level here is definitely rising. Right, look back up to the waterfall. There's definitely more water coming down that. Okay, I want us out of the water, okay?
And suddenly the level of risk goes from fairly steady to...
With the water level rising by the second, I knew we had to act fast.
I'll be camp. Good, I got you.
Rivers flood instantly. You know, you watch these things rising minute by minute.
Whoa, look! Look at the waterfall! That was just a kind of small torrent before. There's a load more water coming down here now. That wind is just incredible.
I've chosen this clip because I'd always wanted to witness a flash flood.
Look at that!
And here I was, right in the thick of it.
Power of nature, and it can easily grab you by the backside and shake you around quite violently.
This river is definitely now out of action. We're back into the jungle.
Number 16 is a moment in Montana that I had to run for my life.
What were they thinking?
Straight through this tunnel. It'll be quicker and easier than going over it as well. Let's get through.
Okay, hands up. It was a bad idea.
Hang on, stop.
But it made my list because, to be honest, it got interesting.
We need to move. Come on, go. Keep up with me! Run!
You don't quite know how fast the train is, you don't really know anything, because you just hear the noise and you see this light barreling towards you and you just run.
Russell, keep going!
And number 15 is a magic moment of creating fire. While in desert, western Texas, I was setting up camp for the night.
Look, there's a whole cave up here.
My plan was to build a fire using an ancient survival technique, the hand drill. No matches, no flints, just 2 bits of wood.
To start a fire in any environment without matches is a tough undertaking.
Okay, that's a rough shape of it. And then what you want is just a tiny little pinch of sand. And that's going to add a little bit more friction.
It does take, you know, a good level of skill and craftsmanship.
You've also got to watch out you don't drip sweat off your nose into your ember pan. Especially important if you've got a big nose like mine. And what you want is a continuous plume of smoke coming from the ember pan. And then you know you got the potential to make fire. Yeah! Come on!
You do see it happen, and with the right techniques, it's wonderful, wonderful to watch.
Super gently with this, just tip that in. And what you want to do is tip it like this so it stays as one ember. And then protect it. And sort of imagine you're trying to hold a butterfly. Not too tight that you're going to smother it, but not too loose that it's going to get away. Okay, there we go. Oh. Fire. Phew. And that's such a good feeling. Getting fire going just from a hand drill with no matches or anything. And you know, the answer to so much of survival is all around us. People have been doing this sort of thing for thousands of years, and we survive if we listen to them.
However many times you do it, nothing beats that feeling of creating fire.
This breakfast in Morocco was bad. That's why it's in at number 14.
A couple of locusts, a couple of beetles, a couple of moths as well. Even got a praying mantis. Squidge all that up together.
Bear's always saying when he eats bugs that this is a good source of protein, and he's often saying that after he's eaten maybe an ant. But this time, he did deliver his protein hit.
Well, for me personally, it's just that crunching sound, knowing you're going through the sort of abdomen of a beetle or some kind.
Oh, God. I've really learned to hate that taste. It's that cold, sandy, crunchy goo with a very, off mustard taste. I always not to think of the taste, I just get it down.
When we're on the shoot and we kill any animal, I insist that we all share it.
You gotta keep chewing it to get the stuff down, come on.
The crew don't like it, but I think it's only right. We kill it, we all eat it.
A truly terrible way to start a day.
Yeah. But we shared something.
Coming up, the most difficult helicopter insertion we've ever done. Can you guess which one it is?
There is on the road.